Today, a shocking twist has rocked a small community in Nova Scotia. Daniel and Melia Sullivan, the parents of missing siblings Lily, 6, and Jack, 4, has been arrested in connection with their disappearance. After months of searching, thousands of tips, and tireless investigation, the people who were supposed to protect these children are now at the center of the story. And here's a question for you. Could it really be that the parents knew more than they let on? Think about that for a moment. Drop a comment below and let us know what you think. Be honest. Where are you watching from? We want to hear from everyone around the world who has been following this case. Your voice matters. Every comment, every share, every subscriber helps shine a light on the truth. Speaking of which, thank you to all of our 2,000 subscribers. You've helped us tell stories that demand justice. Let's push together to reach 3,000, then 5,000. Hit that subscribe button now and be part of this journey as we uncover the full story of Lily and Jack Sullivan. Stick with us, because the truth behind their disappearance is slowly coming to light, and the answers may shock you. This story is far from over, and the journey is just beginning. It all began on May 2nd, 2025, in the quiet, rural town of Piktu County, Nova Scotia, a place where neighbors knew each other by name and children played freely under the watchful eyes of their families. But that ordinary day would mark the start of a nightmare. Lily, 6, and her younger brother Jack, just 4, never came home. Panic spread quickly. Calls to the police flooded in. Neighbors searched door to door. Within hours, a massive search operation was underway. Over 160 trained searchers combed fields and forests, while helicopters scanned the sky and drones swept over rugged terrain. Canine units followed faint trails that humans could barely see. Every second counted. Every lead mattered. Despite the tireless effort, no trace of the children was found. The hours turned into days, and the days into weeks. Families across the community and the entire nation felt the weight of their absence. Media outlets across Canada broadcast every update. Social media campaigns and online forums erupted with theories, leads, and prayers for the safe return of Lily and Jack. Nearly 500 tips poured in from the public, each one meticulously reviewed by investigators. Helicopters continued to circle, drones hovered over treetops, and volunteers never stopped searching. But the forest gave no answers, the streams whispered no clues, and the house where Lily and Jack had lived remained eerily quiet. The community's hope began to mix with fear and frustration. Questions multiplied. Where were Lily and Jack? Who had seen them last? And, most importantly, how could 2 young children vanish without a trace? Every parent, every neighbor, every citizen who followed the story was gripped by the same unsettling thought. Something about this disappearance didn't feel ordinary. As the days and weeks passed, the focus of the investigation began to shift. With no sightings, no clear leads, and the children still missing, attention turned closer to home, the very household where Lily and Jack had lived. Neighbors started recalling unusual moments, strange behavior, and inconsistencies in what was publicly shared. And now, here's a question for you. Could the people closest to Lily and Jack actually hold the key to their disappearance? Think about that for a moment. And drop your thoughts in the comments. Where are you watching from? We want to hear from everyone following this story, because your perspective matters. In most missing children cases, parents appear publicly, pleading, appealing for help. But here, the public saw very little. The absence of emotional appeals, the quiet demeanor, and the subtle inconsistencies drew attention. While speculation is never proof, investigators could not ignore these patterns. Every detail had to be considered carefully. Pressure mounted on law enforcement to sift through hundreds of tips, hundreds of interviews, and hours of surveillance footage. Every lead, every observation, no matter how small, was cross-checked. The community watched anxiously, wondering if the truth was hidden in plain sight, right inside the home where the children had lived. Could it really be that those who were supposed to protect Lily and Jack were now at the center of the investigation? After months of relentless investigation, law enforcement finally took a decisive step. Daniel and Melia Sullivan were arrested in connection with the disappearance of Lily and Jack. The announcement sent shockwaves through Piktu County and across Canada. Authorities emphasized a critical point. An arrest does not mean guilt. Charges mark the beginning of a legal process, not a conclusion. The courts will now weigh the evidence, examine testimonies, and determine accountability. For the community, the emotions were intense and conflicting. Relief that progress had been made, shock that the parents were implicated, grief for the children, and frustration at months of unanswered questions. The case had moved from a search operation into a legal process, introducing direct accountability for the first time. Behind the scenes, investigators had worked tirelessly. Hundreds of interviews, careful surveillance review, tip analysis, and meticulous examination of every detail. This was not a sudden development. It was the result of methodical work, persistence, and dedication. Every clue, every pattern, every small piece of evidence contributed to this breakthrough. And yet, despite the arrests, the central question remains: where are Lily and Jack? What truly happened to them? The answers have not yet been revealed, and the journey towards justice is just beginning. If you've been following this case, share your thoughts below. What do you think investigators discovered that led to these arrests? And if you haven't yet, make sure to subscribe and join a community determined to keep the spotlight on Lily and Jack. Your support matters now more than ever, because every comment, every view, and every subscriber is a step closer to the truth.
Even with the arrests made, the story was far from over. Behind the scenes, investigators continued working tirelessly. Every tip, every lead, every inconsistency was analyzed with painstaking care. Surveillance footage was reviewed, timelines reconstructed, and hundreds of interviews revisited. Nothing was left to chance. Investigators emphasized that each detail mattered, from the smallest observation to the faintest clue. Every piece of information contributed to a clearer picture of what may have happened to Lily and Jack. The arrests were the result of months of careful, methodical work, not a sudden decision. For the public, this was both a moment of progress and a reminder of how complex this case had become. While arrests signaled movement, the ultimate goal remained the same: finding the children and understanding the truth behind their disappearance. Communities across Nova Scotia, and indeed the entire nation, followed every update closely, hoping that persistence and vigilance would finally bring clarity. Even as the investigation advanced behind closed doors, the central question remained: where are Lily and Jack, and what truly happened? The answers were still unfolding, piece by piece, as law enforcement worked to uncover every detail. The arrests sent shockwaves through Piktu County. Families who had searched tirelessly felt a mix of relief, sorrow, and frustration. Nationwide, people were stunned, hearts heavy and eyes fixed on the unfolding story. The disappearance of Lily and Jack had become more than a local tragedy. It had become a matter of national concern, highlighting the importance of vigilance, accountability, and collective action. Now, the case moves into the courts. Investigators will present evidence, witness statements will be examined, and timelines scrutinized. The road ahead is long, and the legal process will determine the next steps. But every development brings us closer to the truth, closer to accountability, and closer to justice for Lily and Jack. And here's a question for you. Where are you watching from? What do you think will happen next in this case? Drop your thoughts in the comments right now. We want to hear from people all over the world who are following this story. If you haven't yet, make sure to subscribe to this channel. We're building a community committed to keeping Lily and Jack's story alive, and your support matters more than ever. Help us reach 3,000 subscribers, then 5,000 and beyond. Every view, every comment, and every subscription shines a light on the truth and keeps the momentum going. The journey toward justice is just beginning. For Lily and Jack, and for all of us watching, every step forward counts.
Stay with us as we continue to follow the investigation, uncover the evidence, and report every update on this heartbreaking and important story.